Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video. Now today we got some more Ride 5 information. We got a walkthrough trailer. Now I've yet to watch it, so I don't actually know what's in the trailer. Guessing by a walkthrough they're going to just explain the kind of a bit more in depth of the overall game aspects, the game modes, what happened this year with the physics, a bit more of just kind of a deep dive into the game. So I've yet to watch it, so I'm going in fresh like yourselves, so I'm going to just go straight in, watch it with you. Anytime I think they've said something of importance, or if they've said something that I don't believe, I'll pause it and have a little discussion about it, but we're just going to skim through it and see what's new.
Peggy 3.
Experience the immersive realism of Ride 5 through the official walkthrough trailer, showcasing its most captivating key features. Feast your eyes on beautiful bikes competing in amazing scenarios against the fiercest rivals. Discover your full potential through your career and a wide range of game modes.
So by the look of it, we're just going to go into a bit of details, the bikes, the game modes and stuff like that, but again, in today it's a racing game. There's only going to be like 2-3 game modes. There's going to be a career mode, a single player race, and time trial. That's it really. You have online then as well. So in these trailers they big it out to be as if it's the greatest thing that's ever been made. It's a bike game. There's going to be bikes. There's going to be a few tracks, and you're going to do some races. So these trailers always seem to kind of get a bit out of hand, which is a bit weird really. So we're starting off with the bikes, the most important bits.
With the enhanced potential of next-gen consoles, Ride 5.
That is true, actually. I completely forgot that this game is next gen only. So if you are on PC, PS5 and Xbox Series X, this will be launching later this year. But if you're on PS4, Xbox One, or any of the Xbox One family, or the Nintendo Switch, you will not be getting Ride 5 available to your platform. It is unfortunate for people who are unable to update or jump to the new consoles, the new family of consoles, but from a person who has been able to kind of keep up to date with the consoles, it'll be much better for us, hopefully. Most consoles, most developers will be able to use a lot more of the newer consoles. Most games that are held back are usually held back by the previous generation, trying to make the games run on that. So you're kind of being, if the game is to come out on PS4, Xbox One again, we'd be massively held back by them. I wouldn't be able to get the full potential out of the game, which has always been annoying. So I kind of respect them for kind of going balls to the wall with this one and giving us only on next gen only, because I think it'll mean for a better game. I am quite actually interested to see how they use up the power of the newer consoles and the modern day PCs, so I'm quite looking forward to just overall seeing what they can do with it.
Brings motorcycles to life like never before. Prepare yourself to fall in love with bikes that boast textures and materials so remarkably accurate you can almost touch them. Lifelike engineering marvels that will trigger an authentic sense of ownership for each and every one of them. The thrill begins simply by gazing at the fairing, lights, and tachometer, where each intricate detail has been meticulously crafted to deliver an unmatched sense of excitement and immersion. Experience the utmost realism of the physics as every bump, twist, and turn on the road is faithfully reproduced, offering the flawless feeling of riding actual motorcycles, each with its own unique features and behavior. Suspensions and tires.
So just before they show off airtime on, I believe this is Northwest, once again, I must say the models have never been an issue for me in the Milestone games. They've always been pretty accurate. In terms of the Ride games, I've never really had any issues with them. They're pretty decent. We've had some issues where you won't have been able to change the exhaust on some bikes in previous games, but for the most part, whatever way they make and produce their models in game, it's usually pretty good. So give them props there. It looks again like they have tweaked the physics, judging off what they showed there. From what I can see, I'm really hoping, and it's usually been the way, is that there usually is a set of physics for the Ride games, and there's usually a set of physics for the MotoGP series. So hopefully they're separate, because as of late, the direction they've gone with MotoGP is really not for my liking, and a lot of people don't like it. So I think maybe they could save a lot of faith here in their own community if they kind of kept going down the route they were going to. Ride series, Ride were never bad. Ride 3 was pretty poor, but that was when they were getting up to speed with the Unreal Engine 4. You gotta cut them a bit of slack, like I said in previous videos. When they move to a new engine, it's a big overtaking, so it's going to take a lot of effort to get things right, but hopefully the physics are just a bit more accessible. They've been pretty pretty bad last couple of games, so I'm hoping to jump from ride 4 to ride 5 that it gets a good improvement.
Respond to the terrain, delivering an authentic feel during braking
okay, we need to rewind that one there. So she's on about suspensions and tires. I'll leave her play it one more time.
An authentic feel during.
You've completely run out of suspension here, my friend. It even has a little, I don't know if you can hear it in the video, but there's a little like boom when it actually bottoms out. That is your front fork completely bottoming out. At this point, you have no more suspension. If this happens in real life, you're having such a bad time because you're having all the vibration coming through straight through the fork. Your suspension is not doing its job. It's going all the way up to your triple clamps into your hands, and you feel all that vibration. It's a horrible feeling on the bike. So when they're kind of talking about, oh, look how amazing our suspension is, and then they show bike bottoming out, it's not really that doesn't really show it. I always feel like sometimes they try and show off things, but they do it the wrong way, and I think this is a prime example of it. They're showing off suspension by showing a suspension bottom out. Suspension shouldn't be doing that from like default, if that makes sense. So a lot of times as well with Milestone games, like for example the ride ones, I always feel like the bikes are far too soft and spongy. Again, the road bikes, I know they're not GP bikes, so they're always going to have it, but they're really, really bouncy. And this little kind of clip here just shows how much the front forks are traveling down before they actually bottom out. And again, behind the scenes, whatever the game is coded to do is different to what we see, which is never great. I kind of like a bit more of a bit more clarity between what the game actually is doing and what the bike is showing, because it can improve the overall experience if they are more aligned. But yeah,
for those who crave total control.
We have a new suspension UI. So we have preload, springs, oil, we have compression, we have return damper, which would be usually known as rebound. Preload, spring, compression, return.
New user interface allows you to adjust.
Oh, we've swing arm length and chain tension now. That's something we've never had. Now, in previous games, we've had similar ways of tweaking. I can't remember what we had in Ride 4, but it definitely wasn't swing arm length and chain tension. I've never seen chain tension in a game before, which is quite good. You adjusted through these little fellas here, but it's good to see that they're trying to make it a bit more realistic and leaving us have chain tension. In real life, chain tension is very important, especially in racing. Too much chain or too much slack, we'll say, you basically have nothing out of the corner. The bike is very lazy, and too much tension, it'll just be unrideable. It'll be too jerky in a way. But it's good to see that they are changing around and giving us a bit more. But it's about time, really.
And fine-tune various settings, granting you the freedom to set up the bike in accordance with your unique riding style.
So she said there, look again, I watch this, just watch where the bike kind of twitches there.
Style.
So look, kind of twitch there. That does that in real life. You're going over here, my friend. You're going in this little, very Americanized looking house here in the northwest of Ireland. Yeah, good job, Milestone. I'm just gonna rewind to that there. Let me just, yeah, look at that. I've been to many places in Ireland. There's not many houses in Ireland that have houses with these sort of roller gates, my friend. Like, if you should, like, yeah. Jeez, this is pulled straight out of Nightmare on Elm Street. Like, this is... Anyway, I always get distracted by the scenery. The coast looks good, I'll give him that. But she does mention there that you'll be able to tweak the suspension, tweak the setup, blah, 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 to make the bike kind of handle for you. With GP bikes, I hate going back to GP bikes because I'm always banging on about how amazing it is. But in terms of setups, when you slightly adjust something on the bike, you really feel it on your first lap. Whether it's good or bad, you can feel it straight away, and it makes a big difference. I always find with Milestone games, especially the last 3 or 4, you'll go to a track, you'll do some laps on the stock setting, and you'll go, right, I think I need a bit more of this. You change a bit of that, change a bit of this. Go back to the track, you go, not too sure about that. Change a small bit more, you go, not too sure about that. Lap time is about the same. Then you go back to the stock setting, and then you're quicker, and you're like, well, it doesn't feel as good, but now it's quicker. So you get in this kind of cloudiness, and you don't get good feedback from the game or from the bike. So kind of hoping this year that's a bit more direct, so that when you change the bike's physics or the setup, that you get more of a real one-to-one simulation of what's going on, and that would be good because setups are very important in every aspect of riding.
To offer you the options of enhanced control over your ride, suspension customization becomes a strategic choice. Ride 5 impeccably replicates the effects of your adjustments, ensuring the ultimate personalized racing experience. And then, get yourself noticed not just for your speed. Customize the look of your bike and, of course, your rider, sharing your creations online.
So again, the custom editor, your livery editor is in the game. Again, it's a pretty big thing for a lot of people. I know some people actually spend more time making liveries and stuff than they do writing. For me, it's not much of a thing I'd spend much time at. I'm not very creative in that sense, but it's a good that it's in there because kind of everyone benefits because people put them online and you can just download them. So it's quite good. It's a good feature to have in. And again, I'm pretty happy to see that there again.
But you can't always control everything. Sometimes you just have to be good at quickly reacting to sudden changes. Face unpredictable weather and ever-changing lighting conditions that will directly affect your race, immersing you in breathtaking realism with stunning 3D-generated views.
I must say, graphically, it looks fantastic. It really does. And most of their Unreal Engine games have always looked pretty good. Like that's been one of the big things about them, that they've looked stunning. They've been a bit kind of empty and a bit of a shell underneath, but in terms of graphics, they are pretty damn good.
Of clouds and sky.
Yeah, look at that. Like,
the game can perform real-time calculations of the temperature of the track depending on the weather conditions.
So she said there, the game can perform real-time calculations depending on the weather conditions and the temp and stuff like that. It's great. I love the fact they have that sort of thing in the game, that it's like a constant live track. The track itself is a living thing in a way. It's great if it works, but if you look at MotoGP 23 when they brought it in, the flag to flag and stuff like that, a lot of times you get caught out with being on the wrong tyre and it just goes, the temperatures go all the way off and the AI don't seem to get affected for it. And like, there's a lot of rough edges with these systems they bring in, and they never feel polished to me, and unfortunately it's one of the bigger issues is when they bring in something like this, it usually doesn't work off the bat and usually takes a couple of updates, and in some cases they never actually get it right. If you look at bike retrieval, it was never actually working right, unfortunately. But I'm hoping that they do get it overall right. I have memory from Ride 4 that was never perfect, where some races you could have like a soft tire on in the night time and it would be stone cold, and then you could have a hard on after different times of the day, like during like dusk, and it would be like overheating, and you're thinking, is that really right? So I hope that the more time they put into their tire system and their overall kind of track temps and the way the tires heat, it would be the more time to spend on that, the better, really, because it really affects the game.
Adding a strategic dimension to your racing experience. There's more than weather to keep an eye on in Ride 5, as challenging opponents will be storming your.
So AI, I really hope, right, and I do believe this is the thing, that the AI isn't going to be anything they've used in the last 2 or 3 years in terms of GP21, GP22, GP23. I really hope that the neural AI, as she probably will say in a second, in Ride 5 will be its own kind of built up system over a couple of years. And again, this game has been in the works for a couple of years now, so you should expect that when we get it at launch, it will be pretty polished. Now, Milestone are definitely not known for having a polished game at launch, but in terms of AI, I'm kind of hoping that the AI are definitely a step forward in terms of just overall intelligence.
Your victory plans, bringing the challenge to the next level. The most advanced neural AI will manage your opponents, true, but it will also have your back, helping you adjust the difficulty level according to your skills. You decide if and how you need assistance. Slowing down the gameplay, for instance, can help you to gradually improve your responsiveness and
slowing down the game?
The learning process.
That's... I can see the idea, right? But putting a game in slow motion just means that everything will be... You'll have a massive input delay. I don't think this is going to work, to be honest, Milestone, but... I suppose to talk about the assists, there seems to be more AI assists to help the player, which is good. They're in GP23. I've never touched them. It's good. It's good in a way, though, that they're trying to make the game easy and accessible for newer players. I think Milestone usually do a good job of making the game widely available to many different people of all different levels of interest in bikes and skill levels. But slowing the actual game down, I don't think that's going to work. No, maybe in this clip here they've made it really obvious and slowed it far too far down. But like,
so everyone
look how slow the bike is moving. You're not going to be able to control that. Like, there's going to be so much of a delay that it's going to be weird on a controller, and like a controller isn't yet the most accurate kind of devices. So, I think trying to learn it in slow motion and slowly speed up, I don't think that would work. You'd just rather struggle at full speed and crash, and then you'll eventually kind of get the hang of it, I suppose, was what I would think would be better.
Can ride and learn at their own pace, regardless of their initial skill level, resulting in a more personalized and gratifying experience. And what's more rewarding than getting to choose your own idea of fun? Find your favorite game mode where you can shine. Or why not just rule them all, from a quick bite to almost never-ending races. There's always a challenge perfect for you. But before the race begins, here's a gem for you to savor. Now you can qualify for it. Once you've learned the basics, fame and success will be just around the corner, or maybe after the straight, or wherever your career will bring you. You'll start the career with a tutorial, and then enter the 2-stroke competition, followed step by step by a narrator that will make your journey even more engaging and immersive. Be careful, he won't be the only one following you around. Ride 5 spices up the competition, introducing Rivals, several AI-controlled rides.
So this rival system looks like, and it kind of reminded me of it's the same base code that you would bring across from GP23 is what I'm thinking. That the in the career mode where you have riders who are who like you and ride kind of clean against you, and riders that don't like you and are a bit more aggressive. I think it'll be the same basis as that, so that there'll be people you'll get on with and people you won't, and you'll battle them and they'll change depending on your race with them. So I'd say that's that kind of system that we're seeing here in the ride.
With their own personality, background, and look that will be recurring contenders during your career. They'll make your job anything but easy. So beating them and reaching the top of the leaderboard will be even more satisfying. Also, because with glory comes significant rewards. Make your way through 4 stages with over 200 secondary events, and you'll be able to build the headquarters of your dreams. Facing these rivals requires strength and concentration, the perfect training to prepare for the most acclaimed and demanding game mode in Ride 5, endurance races. Now with new in-race save and rewind features, so you can race.
That's good though, that you can save your, and again that the endurance has come back, because I think the endurance races are actually some of the most enjoyable, because there was an aspect that was a bit like kept the game fresh, shall we say, because you had to pit, you didn't know about fuel, and a lot of times with the AI you could get ahead of them, or they could get ahead of you, and you'd be like, well, that's it, the race is over, I'm either going to win or they're going to keep pulling away from me, and there's kind of no two halves to it. Whereas I felt a lot of times with Ride 4, I might get a bad start, I might have an incident with an AI, I might crash myself and end up being loads back, and I'm pushing and being nowhere near, and like, no, I'm low on fuel now and I don't know about my tyres, and I'll take a gamble, I'll only put a new rear tyre in, I'll keep the front, and I'll put a small bit of fuel in, and I get back up to the front and I can challenge for the win, or things like that. So it just gives a bit more of a dynamic to the races that you haven't seen in other games, so it's good to see.
Take a well-deserved break and start again from where you left off. And
that's a decent feature too, I suppose, because not everyone has. I think some of them are a couple of hours long. Like, nobody has a couple of hours really. Well, not nobody, but a lot of anyone over the age of 20 really probably want to have 4 or 5 hours to sit down and play one race just to unlock a new category or whatever. So it's kind of a quality of life feature, I'd call it.
Speaking of novelties, for the first time in the franchise, Ride 5 will give you the power to craft your own personal races and even championships using the Race Creator mode. Take advantage of its tools to manage every aspect of the competition and create unlimited racing experiences. Now, picture this scenario. You, your friends, one couch, and hours of fun.
They look to be having so much fun. I really hope when Ride 5 comes out I can have as much fun as these guys. On a serious note, Ride having split screen is great because personally it doesn't really affect me, but it's something that when it gets removed, a lot of people complain about it, and gets put back, a lot of people don't say anything about it. There's clearly a lot of people out there who want split screen, and fair play for them to keep me in it. The race creator, I hope you can use that online. If you could make an online championship over like an event over an evening, that could be quite cool. You could have some old classic two strokes and OGP tracks, or you could have late 90s superbikes at like some European superbike tracks. So if they can do that online, if that is online, it doesn't really describe or explain it well enough there for me to know. But if it's online, that could be really cool, especially in terms of, for me, YouTube and kind of playing with viewers and stuff. I could set up a whole kind of every week, maybe could do a night of streaming where I could do a championship of some sort. That would be pretty cool if that is the way it looks to be lining up, which I hope it is.
With the most entertaining split-screen duels. And when the couch is not enough, bring the challenge to the global stage, facing rivals from all corners of the world. Compete with players worldwide and strive to reach the top of the international leaderboards, showing off your skills and achievements. Are you ready to become the best rider you can be? Rev up your engines and hit the road. Ride 5, Beyond Racing.
So it is there, we will leave it. So overall, not too bad. Learned a few things. You can see here, Epic Store, Xbox Series X, PS5 and Steam. So unfortunately, no Nintendo Switch, no PS4 and no Xbox One. So unfortunately, if you're on them console, you might want to make the jump to the new consoles really for if you kind of want to get Ride 5 really, because you won't have any other choice. But I'm going to leave it there for today's video. Let me know down below what you think of Ride 5. Is it something you are going to get? Are you on the fence? Are you burnt? Have Milestone burnt your bridges from GP22, 23 or any other games? Or are you super stoked for Milestone's latest Ride game? I'm pretty excited for it. I must say, see with the Ride, I feel like the Ride cycle, or sorry, the Milestone cycle is, game comes out, it's poor, I get sick of it, I say I don't like it, I play it small bit for YouTube, I make videos saying I don't like it. A lot of people give out to me as like, why Jaws bash their games? And I'm like, well, I've nothing against Milestone. They've never done anything to or for me, so I have no preferences toward them. I just like realism, and for me, a lot of times there's better games out there for me. So, and then a new game gets announced, just some new features. I'm like, oh, this could be good. They're saying all the right things before launch. I'm like, yeah, this looks good. Then it gets to launch, I'm like, yeah, it's not bad. And then 20 hours in, I'm like, yeah, this is shit again. So, kind of hoping that Ride 5 keeps me on the path and keeps me going like I did in Ride 4. Now, I will say that when I got Ride 4, it was long before I ever tried GP bikes. So, basically, right, when I tried GP bikes, that ruined MotoGP and Ride for me, because I haven't touched either of them that much since. They've really been on the back burner since. So, blame for both of them for making a damn good engine and making everything feel so amazing on that game. But I need to probably just take it with a grain of salt, that I know I'm probably not going to love it as much as I love GP bikes, but the fact they have so many bikes, so many tracks, even endurance racing, there's this championship mode now we have, and it'll be good for YouTube, I hope. I really do hope it'll be one of those games that it should probably do well for me for some long time. But like I said, I'm going to leave it there. Let me know your feedback in the comments. Let me know how you're feeling, and we're going to leave it there. We don't have long now to go, end of August before we get launched, so only about 5 weeks away from making of the video, so we're not too far out now. We're not too far out at all, guys. Thank you for tuning in today. I hope you did enjoy. If you did, drop a like down below and subscribe for more, and should catch you all with more videos in the future. Thanks, guys, for watching. See you all soon.